Namaste. Welcome to Restore Yoga. I'm Crystal and I'll be guiding you through this practice for this session. So let's begin by coming into just a comfortable seat. Don't get too settled in with a lot of props. We're going to come into the seat and we're going to come into some breath work right away. It's winter, we're kind of in midwinter, I guess I would say, and it's time to keep our light, keep our energy up and running. And one of the ways to do that, especially if you're practicing in the morning, is to do some clearing practices. They're called Shat Kriyas, where we actually clean out the body. And so today we're going to do a simple breath. It's called Vastrika breath. And if you think of bellows, like a fire where you're kind of fanning the flames of the fire, that's what we're going to do with our breath, that same sort of motion. We're going to exhale forcefully and inhale forcefully, but slower. So it's something like this. When I do this, I often think of the children's book, The Little Engine That Could, where he's sort of huffing and puffing, trying to get up the hill. That's what we'll sound like a little bit. So come into a comfortable seat, and we're going to begin by coming into a twist. So bring your arms right along your ears, pull the front ribs in, ground into your sit bones, and then let's take an exhale to the right. Let your right fingers crawl behind you, be nice and long behind you. Your left hand might be on top of your right leg or just on the outside of the right thigh. Keep the heart open. And for just a few breaths, gaze over your right shoulder. Opening the heart, noticing where you're feeling any sort of movement from the twist, because twist will move prana. And we're going to begin that Vastrika breath. So remember, it's forced exhale, kind of forced inhale, like the little engine that could. Let's begin. Keep going. Try to relax your jaws as you do this breath and just feel that life force move in, that what's not needed move out. Nice and steady. Keep going. Keep going. If for any reason you begin to feel a little dizzy or unsettled, stop or lengthen both the inhale and the exhale. Let's take a few more rounds. Let the breath go. Close your eyes and gently turn your head over your left shoulder, keeping the heart open, keeping your twist to the right. And just connect with what you feel around the heart, the throat, what you feel around the head. This is a Shat Kriya. It's a cleansing practice. We're cleansing buildup in the head, excess thoughts. We can think of that as being called vata, excess movement in air. It might also help with sinuses, congestion. It's an opening, a clearing. Something we do before our other practices. Take an inhale, lift your arms overhead. Let the inside of the elbows come by your ears. Pull the front ribs in. As you exhale, take a big stretch with your left hand behind you. Let your fingers reach out. Arm is long. Right hand might go to the outside of your left thigh or maybe on the left thigh. Look over your left shoulder. Open up the front of the heart, round into your sit bones. Head is neutral. Relax the jaws. Notice what you feel and where you feel it in this gentle twist. And we're going to begin another round of Vastrika or bellows breath. We begin with an exhale out the nose and then we inhale slow and steady. See if you can find your rhythm, and let's begin. Keep going. See if you can relax your jaws as you do this breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Kind of slow, mindful, pulling in and letting go. Take a couple more and then release the breath practice. Turn your head over your right shoulder. Close your eyes and just be in the aftermath of this Shat Kriya, this practice to cleanse. What can you feel that you may have cleansed during this practice? You might notice that your heart rate is a little bit sped up. It will do that too. We begin to move prana as we clear. Let's come back through center. Inhale the arms up, inside of the elbows, right in by the ears. Turn the palms out and just let them float all the way down. And now come into a sustainable seat. Maybe you're already there. And we're going to come into Linga Mudra as we continue to sit. We open both hands, fingers pointing out, thumbs up. Interlace the fingers. Let the left little finger be on the bottom. And then keep the left thumb up and press the tip of the index to the tip of the thumb on the right hand. So we're circling that left thumb with the right index and right thumb. This comes right in between the lungs, kind of right at the base of those front ribs. Relax your shoulders, relax your elbows, relax your jaws. Let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Close your eyes or find a gazeless gaze. And settle into your body. Invite yourself into your practice. Settle into your seat. Begin to just connect with your breath. After that Shat Kriya, how is your body breathing? And as we sit a little longer, you might notice that it begins to slow back down, becoming slow and quiet, even and consistent. I also want to share that this Linga Mudra is a very powerful and appropriate mudra for right now. It helps to cleanse the lungs, get rid of congestion from colds, flu, congestion, maybe some inflammation in the body, especially in the lungs. It also helps bring some warmth throughout the body, and especially out to the extremities, the fingertips, the toe tips. If you've been having chills or just feeling a little off in your body, this is a very good mudra for you to hold, holding at least 2 minutes. So just stay connected with your breath, or if there's anything I've just shared about this mudra, maybe there's something there that's more powerful for you to connect with right now as we sit. Maybe asking for a deeper release of congestion in your body. Whatever you need, just be there. Allow the body to soften, even the shoulders, and even as you're holding this mudra, softening into it. Just feeling that beautiful process of breath in and breath out. making sure the jaws are released. Just let gravity sort of take that bottom jaw. Invite the tongue to rest. See if you can connect with the root of the tongue and invite it to expand like it's really wide. No tension. There's another concept I'd like to share with you as you're sitting, going deeper into yourself. We have these, what they're called constraints in yoga. They're called yamas and niyamas. And this week I've been connecting with the third one, which is called asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. I think we can all relate to what that means. We don't take something that's not ours. We don't take something physical from someone else. We don't take their favorite book and never return it. We don't take something from a store or a market. We all know that. We've been taught that since we were very young. There are different levels of practicing asteya. And one that I think is quite fascinating is that we don't steal someone else's joy. If someone is telling us about their new car that they got, and then we start telling them about consumer reports, negative things, that could be stealing their joy. There's just no need for that. Or another part of this non-stealing is not stealing from yourself. How is that possible? Well, it's being present in your yoga practice, not stealing your time. If your mind is off thinking about what you're going to have for lunch today during your practice, you're actually stealing time and moments from yourself. Interesting concept. If you're not fully engaged with using your props during restore practice and saying, oh, I don't really need to support that hip, it'll be fine. Maybe it's not. You might be stealing some pleasure or some release you could have if you use that prop. So I just wanted to plant some of those seeds today, asteya, non-stealing. And as we go deeper into our practice today, how can you really engage with that concept? Being very present for yourself, connecting with yourself, using your props, doing what you need to do. Going deep enough to know that if I offer you a guidance and it doesn't work, then don't take it. Enough. Let's take a few more breaths here, just noticing how the body's breathing. You might even notice if the fingers or toes, or if there's any warmth in the body, or any sort of warmth around the lungs. Sometimes our effects are very subtle, and sometimes they're right there. So always tune in. Don't steal anything from yourself. Be fully involved in your practice so you can get everything that's offered to you as best you can. I will invite you, if you choose to bring an intention into your practice today, what might that be? What do you really need? What are you working on in your life? What's on your heart? Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out the mouth. Release your mudra and rub your hands. Find a little additional warmth. Move that energy in the palms. And then just for a moment, cup the palms over your eyes. Feel that warmth. Maybe blink your hands into the warmth. blink your eyes into the warmth of your hands, and then keep your eyes open, fold the hands into a prayer, and let them come all the way down. Good. Let's bring the arms up and out from the shoulders. If you need to change your legs, how you've been sitting at all, feel free to do that. And then we're going to drop the left arm down, just gently let it rest, maybe on your leg or near you. And let's bring that right arm all the way across the body. Take your left hand between your shoulder and the elbow, kind of by the tricep. Roll that right shoulder up, back, and down, and guide it in, guide it across your body. Try to keep your shoulders square to the front of your mat. Relax your jaws and connect with this joint where the humerus connects up into the shoulder girdle. We're getting deep into some of this fascia. You know, often we'll feel tension in the shoulders, the hips, the neck. This might help. While we're doing this, perhaps move your jaws a little bit. Few more breaths here, really guiding in right around the right tricep. Good, release it, stretch that hand out, palm up, and now bring the thumb forward and back so the palm tips up the opposite way. So we're just getting a deep rotation into that joint. You know, I often talk about in Restore, we have to release and get rid of something before we can invite the rest in. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a little opening. Good. Let's bring the other arm up. Let's release the right arm down, stretch out through the left, guide it across your torso, right around the heart, between the shoulder and the elbow, never on a joint. Roll the shoulder up and back and guide that arm in. Shoulders stay square to the front. You might feel your tricep. Stay grounded in your seat so we have some resistance here. And notice how this shoulder feels. Maybe you can feel it all the way into that left shoulder blade. Maybe along the edge. Maybe in this GHC joint right here. Where else do you feel it? Keep the head in neutral, belly pulled in slightly. Give just a little support and a little resistance. Good, let's release and open that arm up. Send the palm to the ceiling, and then begin to bring that thumb forward, rotating all the way back. Bringing it up, and just finding that gentle rotation. Getting a little bit deeper into that joint. What does it feel like today? Mine feels a little uncomfortable. Maybe it really needs this. When we feel something uncomfortable, send a little extra love. Open up, come on, you can do it. Release that tension. Good, let the arm come up, bring the other arm up now. Both arms are up. Give yourself a hug. Really reach those fingers, reach back as far as you can. Plus you're getting a hug. Feel the warmth of your own body, feel the touch. You know, many of us live alone and we're in a pandemic. We may not have a lot of contact, so love yourself. Open the arms and then hug with the opposite arm on top. It will feel a little strange. We often do things just in rote the same way without even being aware. So just hug it nice and tight again. Reach those fingers. Keep the head in neutral. Good. Open up the arms and let them float down. Let's release the legs. Let's just give a little bit of shaking and bouncing, circling the wrists and the ankles, getting into these joints, and circling the opposite direction. We lubricate our joints, and this time of year, it's dry. We're connecting with that dry vata-ness, the dry air. Point and flex. Doesn't take a whole lot. Just this invites prana to move, invites the joints to be sort of oiled, if you will. And let's just tap or rub down the arms. Good. And we're going to do a little more with shoulder opening. So maybe you'd like to watch first. We're going to come all the way onto our belly. Maybe you have a blanket on your mat to support yourself. And then arms will come out at a T, all the way down. I'm just turning my head so I can speak to you, but your forehead will be down. And we're going to begin by then just keeping our heels together and mindfully rolling our body toward the right. As we do this, maybe the left hand supports in front, maybe it comes onto your body, and you take this to where it feels comfortable for you. We all have different levels of flexibility. Just really invite in some deep shoulder opening. Relax your head and your jaws. Connect with that side of the shoulder, top of the shoulder blade. Then slowly and mindfully, maybe using your hand to support, come all the way onto your belly, forehead down. And just notice if there's a difference between the right and the left side. Then we'll bring the legs together, arms are at a T, and this time we're going to roll toward the left. Rolling toward that arm that's in a T. Your right hand might guide your body, it might come behind you. Be mindful of yourself. Don't steal an opportunity from yourself, but also practice ahimsa, not harming. So breathe into what you feel here, invite that opening. Good, and let's come all the way back to the center. Bring your forehead down, arms in a T, and just notice how this left shoulder feels. Does the body feel a little more centered, a little more even and grounded now? Maybe. So we'll bring the hands in under the shoulders and just inhale, coming all the way up to hands and knees, and then sinking back, opening the knees, toes together into a child's pose, just for a few breaths. Opening up the back body, right around the sacrum, forehead down. Your arms can reach, but have a little bend in the elbows so you're not exerting a lot of effort. Just a few more breaths here in Balasana, child's pose. Then slide your hands back under the joints of the arms. Inhale to come up. And let's get ready for our first long held pose today. It's kind of my favorite restorative shoulder opener. So gather two blocks, your bolster, or whatever you're using that resembles those items. The bolster comes horizontal across your mat, and the blocks are going to be long. So if you're using rolled up towels or something, let the long side come out. Think of them supporting your shoulder blades. So they're going to come out to the side. You might even have another blanket, about 3 to 4 inches high, to stack on top of your bolster. We want to have about 5 inches between the blocks and the bolster. You might have another blanket roll that goes underneath your knees. So we come all the way up toward the bolster, and just the very top of our shoulders are going to graze the bolster. So the cervical spine, the neck, that whole curve of the neck is being supported by this 4 to 5 inch lift. The shoulder blades are being supported by the blocks or whatever you're using. And then maybe you have a rolled blanket under your knees. Rotate the shoulders open, palms to the ceiling. Let's just wiggle into the bottom body, circling the ankles for a couple of breaths each direction. Maybe there's a weight over your low hips, covering your body, covering your eyes with a cloth. Use all the props that you have available to support yourself. And then once you've found stillness, you're cozied in with your props, take an inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and allow your body to just sink in, melting into this pose, melting into your props. Don't steal any enjoyment from yourself here. Make sure your entire body feels comfortable. If not, make adjustments, use your props, and settle in. Relax the jaws. Let those shoulder blades rest. Let them feel heavy. They're supported. And just sink in to the support of the earth, your body. Going to be here for several minutes. Be present with yourself. That's how we practice a stand. We don't take anything from anyone else or ourselves. Can you release even a little deeper? Is there any place around either of those shoulder blades that could release more? Is there any place around that GHC joint that we've been working that could rest a little bit deeper? What about the very top of the shoulders, just where they're grazing your bolster? Can they just settle in a little deeper? No tension, no effort. That's how we truly rest. We let go. We do the best we can to soften and let go of our physical efforts. That's how we invite our physical body, that physical kosha or layer, to let go. To go deeper within, often we have to give our mind a tool to help so it's more focused. Maybe you could reiterate your intention or connect with your breath, or find any other tool that you know helps you to be right where you need to be. Let go of that thinking mind and just be deep within yourself, inviting opening in the body, specifically around the shoulders, lifting the heart, a sign of acceptance. We'll continue to rest and restore in this pose, but I will invite you to sort of deepen and lengthen your breath. And I'd like you to find a place that works best for you, maybe bringing that awareness and breath to the heart center as it's lifted, or maybe into the lungs or the chest if you have been feeling any congestion, any restrictions. Breathing into your body, intending that breath to go there and continue to help loosen. We began that loosening with Linga Mudra. Take it now to where it would most benefit you. So breathing a little deeper, taking some control of the breath. Inhaling, exhaling through the nose. We ask the body to do the job that all the systems in the body were designed to do. To keep us strong, to keep us healthy, to keep fluids and prana and oxygen and blood flowing through the body, keeping toxins moving out. All these things are so important. We can do it simply by tuning in and using our intention, moving our bodies even as slowly as we are in this practice. Take just a few more rounds of breath here, connecting with where you most need it, where it would be most beneficial to you. And then you can let that breath go. We're going to take a mindful transition from this restorative shoulder pose. Remember that you're supported on a bolster and blocks. So begin by inviting the soles of your feet onto the floor, or if you had something under your knees, your feet can rest on that. Knees to the ceiling. And from here, just gently let your body come over to either side, the right or the left, coming all the way off from the blocks. Knees are toward the navel. And then take the palm of your top hand, press into the floor, and inhale to come all the way up, inviting yourself back up toward a seat. But we're not going to come into a seat. We're going to come into a tabletop pose, hands and knees pose, and begin to, continue opening up the shoulders. So hands and knees, tabletop, lining up all the joints of the arm underneath the shoulders, the knees inner hip width apart, about 2 of your fists right under the knees right under the hips. And we're going to begin, your gaze should be straight ahead. My head's turning a little to give you better volume. But gaze over at your right hand. As you gaze at it, begin to lift it as you inhale, like you're moving it through water, slowly, mindfully. Lift up, lift up. We find a twist. We find opening. Look up at your thumb if you can. Now as if it's moving down through that resistance of water as slowly as possible. And we're going to bring that arm and thread all the way through the side of the body. The right shoulder comes onto the mat or maybe rests on a bolster. Keep your hips square and extend your left fingers forward. Palm off the mat, just be on your fingertips. See if you can bring your gaze up under that left armpit. The side of your head is resting, maybe the side of your jaw. You can stay right here with your left hand, or it might lift up and find just a gentle bind behind the back, getting a little deeper into the twist, and now engaging a little more into that left shoulder. Stay wherever it makes sense for you. Keep the jaws relaxed and connect with whatever this pose is bringing to you. Thread the needle. Wherever that right arm is, let's inhale, lift it up to the ceiling. Bring it down to sit right by your face. Press in, and like we're moving through water, let's inhale, lift that right arm up to the ceiling, and bring it back down into tabletop. Find your alignment here, and we'll take this pose on the left side. So gaze at your left hand, slowly, mindfully, with a long inhale, like you're moving through water. Lift that arm up, reach, find the twist. Slowly as it comes down and now reaches underneath, almost like we did in the beginning of practice. Let that arm come all the way out. Bring the left side of your body down onto your mat or onto blankets or a bolster. Hips stay square. That left arm is reaching across, just like we reach it across our heart center earlier. Extend the right fingers out, extend the right arm. Right fingers are on the mat, the palm is lifted. You can stay here, or you might lift that right arm to the ceiling and find a gentle half bind behind the leg, rolling that right shoulder open a little bit deeper. Pay attention. Pay attention to your body and how it feels right now in practice, and adjust to where it makes most sense to you. Relax the jaws, just let the body breathe. Let your awareness be where it needs to be. And then let's take that right arm slowly and mindfully up to the ceiling. The right hand comes down right by your face, press in, and we're going to extend that left arm once again up to the ceiling. Reach and open and come back down to hands and knees. And let's release. Good. We're going to get set up for a supine twist from here. And so this time I will invite you to come all the way onto your back. And going to open up the arms nice and wide out into a T once you're on your back. You might want to have a blanket available to you. So the arms open up into a T. If you like, now you can bring your knees in toward the chest, and this blanket, however you choose it to be folded, can come between the knees and the ankles, giving some padding between those bones. Let the arms come back out to a T, and just shift your hips just a few inches to the right. And then we're going to let those knees come all the way down to the left. You might rest them on a bolster or another prop, or you might let them come all the way down to the floor. Arms are in a T, or you might bend them into goddess arms. You might turn your head to the right, finding your shape in this twist as we practice. Releasing now any gripping or holding. No need to squeeze the legs. Just let the blanket be a cushion. Open up the heart, open up the shoulders. Shoulders get to rest on the mat, nice and flush. Release the jaws. Release the weight of your body. And notice if you're thinking about something else. Don't dare steal time, these precious moments in your pose, from yourself. Be right here. Be in it. Be in the moment as best you can. I'm going to have just a few more breaths on this side. So if your arms are not in a T, stretch them back out into a T, right out from the shoulders. And we're going to lift the right arm like we're moving it through water again. It's going to come all the way up. The head rolls through center. The head rolls to the left as the right arm comes to sit. The right palm on top of the left palm in this version of a fetal position. Once again, like we're moving that right arm through water, lift it all the way up and open out to the right. Now squeeze your knees and ankles together. Inhale the knees to center. Shift your hips slightly to the left and let your knees come all the way to the left. Perhaps resting on a prop or resting on the floor. Arms out in a T. Turn your head to the left if it feels okay. And then settle in here. Set your shoulder blades on the mat. Maybe your arms bend into goddess pose. Maybe they stay in a T. Sink in, release. We release and relax to restore. Let it go. And just a few more breaths like this in this supine twist. Enjoy them, connect with them. And then let's bring our arms back into a T if they're not already there. And we're going to begin to slowly raise the left arm, once again like it's moving through water. Oh, feel that weight and resistance of the water. Slow, slow. It's going to come all the way over, left palm on the right, if that's okay with your body. Your head and your shoulder turns with it. Pause here for a moment. And now take that left arm and move it up again like it's coming through water, slowly. Feel that resistance on the back of the arm. Open all the way up into a twist. And now inhale your legs to center. Remove the blanket if you have something between your knees, and hug the knees into the chest. Bring the knees in toward the armpits. Press your tailbone toward the mat. Get a nice deep stretch for the low back. Let's bring the legs and arms to the ceiling. Again, let's circle the wrists and the ankles and the other direction, lubricating the joints. And then pointing and flexing. And here, find some movement, gentle movement as you choose. Maybe you bring the legs down in toward a happy baby, getting a little deeper into the hips. Or maybe the soles of the feet are together as you just gently guide them down in this lifted butterfly or Baddha Konasana pose. You might feel better to stretch one leg out to the side and then the other, or maybe both. Getting a nice deep stretch. Just find a few breaths worth of movement. What feels good in your body this morning or whenever you're practicing. And then when you're getting near to finishing the movement that you need, we're going to get set up for our final pose of practice today. I'm going to invite you into an inversion, and it can be an inversion of your choice. You might bring legs up the wall if you're near a wall or a piece of furniture. Nice and simple. Letting the heels rest on the wall. There might be something under your sacrum or not. Maybe something under your head. If you're not near a wall, you can build an incline with your blocks on the highest level and your bolster at a nice deep incline. Face the bolster and elevate the legs. Again, maybe there's something underneath your neck as you settle in here. If there is any other option that your body really needs, for those of you who practice, you probably know what really helps you to rest and restore. So I encourage you to find that. And then get all resting in with your props, covering yourself with a blanket, maybe having a slight weight over the front hips. Something gentle covering the eyes, perhaps. Don't steal anything from yourself. That sounds harsh, but as we're talking about asteya, every little bit helps. So finding true comfort and relaxation to really encourage your physical body to rest can be very helpful. Maybe just what you need. Take the time. Settle yourself in. Once you get there, I encourage you to take a long, cleansing breath. Inhale to fill your lungs. Expand the whole torso. Hold the breath in. Hold it in as long as it's comfortable. Let that breath, let that prana circulate through your whole being, nourishing your cells, your mind, all of you. When you're ready to let it go, let it be a slow release through the mouth. Contracting back in the torso, everything moves toward the center line. And as you get to the very bottom of your exhale, pull the navel in just for a moment or two, and then release the belly. Release every single place that you can in your body. Begin with the tips of all 10 toes. Let your awareness come there, and just see if you can let them be. Move up through the soles of the feet, both ankles, up the back of the lower legs, and up the front of the lower legs. How can you deepen the relaxation here? Around both knees, the back of the upper legs, all those hamstrings, muscles, let them rest. In the front of the legs, those quads are big muscles in our body. Let them rest. They need it. Move up through the pelvic floor, through the area around the hips, the navel center, that seat of control in the body. Releasing through the whole torso, front, back, and sides, as your awareness comes up to the heart center. Getting a little bit heavier in the shoulders, all the way around the upper torso, around the collarbones, moving up to the base of the throat in the front, the base of the neck in the back. Your skull bone, that big occipital bone, let it rest comfortably. Relax the jaws. Connect with the root of your tongue. See if it can widen. Let your awareness move from the root down the tongue to the very tip, like you're rolling out kind of a nice wide carpeting in your mouth. Let it rest. See if you can erase any tension in the jaws, the cheekbones, around by the ears, and the forehead. Can you erase any wrinkles? Anywhere in the crown of the head. Going back to any part of your body that might be diseased, injured, or you felt some uncomfortableness lately, and just invite it to let go. Send it a little more love and intention. Consciously releasing the elbows, the wrists, the center of the palms, and all the fingers. Don't think about time. Just be in the time that you're in. I will let you know when it's time. Let it go. We are approaching the end of our time together for this session. I encourage you, if you'd like to stay and rest, if you have the time, you know your schedule, please take it. When we rest, we restore. It helps build our life sap. Interesting words, life sap, our ojas. If you can stay, stay. If not, then I'll help guide you out. See yourself as you are, resting comfortably at the end of your practice. Begin to see in your mind's eye other things in your physical space. Artwork, the floor, furniture, maybe there's a pet wandering in. Begin to lengthen and deepen your breath. Call yourself back to the present if you're coming out of practice. Begin to move fingers and toes, maybe rubbing the legs and the arms, or jiggling or shaking, or just gently squeezing to help bring back the warmth and invite prana, invite that energy to move throughout. Finding any movement that resonates with you right now. It might be a full body stretch. Sometimes knees into the chest can feel good to help stretch the low back. And with knees into the chest, and when you bring your forehead up, that stretches the upper back. Find what you need. Within the next few of those findings, let yourself come into the fetal position on the side of your choice. Pause here and just note how your body's breathing. Be aware of the state of your mind and any shifts that you can detect from any part of your practice in any part of you. Sometimes it's an emotional layer or spiritual layer that we're tapped into during practice. Take a moment or two to connect with you. And one more cleansing breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Take the palm of your top arm, place it near your face, your chest, press into the resistance as you inhale and come up to a seat. Invite your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra prayer pose, bringing the energies together, the sides of the body together. We think of Hatha Yoga, sun and moon. We bring the pairs of opposites, 20 pairs of opposites in Ayurveda. When we bring all of the energies and all of the symbols of our hands together in this pose, in this mudra, we're bringing together all the pairs of opposites to become one strong pillar in the center. Thank yourself for the practice. Thank yourself for making the effort to be on your mat, to gather your props, and go through practice. I thank all of you for being here, for tuning in to this beautiful community at Perennial Yoga, this beautiful Sangha where we can connect before and after practice and practice together, even if we're not in the same space. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.